Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Lone Pine Awards at Dartmouth. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all here and make a few introductory remarks. I'm Rick Mills. I'm Executive Vice President at Dartmouth, and it truly is an honor to be in this room with all of our award recipients who have done so many things to make Dartmouth a special place. So this is the 5th annual Lone Pine Award. We missed a little bit in COVID. We were back last year, and it's nice to be back on track. It's just wonderful to be together for an event like this, and I please hope that all of you stay after the event and have some hors d'oeuvres and some drinks and enjoy the fellowship of the folks in the room. So today we get to recognize a group of truly extraordinary colleagues who have been inspirational members of our Dartmouth community. And that really is the essence of what we are recognizing with these Lone Pine Awards. The Lone Pine symbolizes all that is Dartmouth, the ability to stand up, to lead, to be an individual leader, to speak truth to power, to set an example for others. And all of our award recipients have done that in one form or another and have done so much to contribute to our community. So each of our honorees will be receiving what we think of as a very small award for their contributions to the college in a monetary form, but it really is an effort to recognize what you've all contributed. And a small bowl engraved from Simon Pierce that may be small in size, but is big in heart and really does represent our appreciation of each of you and what you have added to our world. First, I'd like to welcome to the stage someone who will be leaving us soon. I know Phil and Gail deeply value the contributions of all of the folks at Dartmouth. From the day they arrived here, they talked to me about how much staff meant to a college, to a university, and how they were the life engine that drove the institution forward. And Phil and Gail have never wavered from that. And you will see them at award ceremonies, and you will see them at long-term service recognition events. And they aren't there just for show. They truly appreciate and believe in what's been done in this community. And it is truly an honor to welcome our president, Phil Hanlon, to the stage.
Well, thank you, Rick, and thanks everyone for being here today. This is a great turnout. It's awesome to be together in person. Of course, we're still have warm glow from that. So it's a joy for Gail and me to be here for this year's Lone Pine Excellence Awards. And as Rick noted, it's our final one with me as president. The establishment of these awards to recognize the extraordinary work of Dartmouth staff is an initiative that is especially near and dear to our hearts. To all our awardees, it is an absolute privilege to celebrate and honor you today. I'm especially pleased that the Lone Pine Excellence Awards garnered 115 nominations this year. That says a lot about just how much our community values the efforts of our staff colleagues. It's always inspiring to read the testimonials provided in these nominations. They come from peers, of course, but from supervisors and subordinates, interdepartmental colleagues and department chairs, current and former students. And amongst so many impressive nominations, our awardees have risen to the top. To me, that speaks volumes about their ability to both support and lead. Those two attributes together make them truly exceptional colleagues. I'm delighted that today's ceremony also gives many of us a chance to hear about the incredible work going on outside our own offices and areas, work that might not otherwise be known to us or that we might not otherwise hear about, but that directly impacts our collective ability to succeed. But as much as today is a day to recognize our awardees and their contributions to campus, it is also an opportunity to say thank you to all members of our staff for all you do to help Dartmouth, our students, and all of us, including Gail and me, be the very best that we can be. So on behalf of all of us in the senior leadership group, I'd like to express congratulations to our deserving award recipients and our deepest gratitude to all of our friends and colleagues on the staff at Dartmouth. It's your heavy lifting that so often makes the ambitions of our community attainable. I'd also like to thank the Lone Pine Excellence Award Selection Committee for administering this program, and together with the Sheila Colbert Awards Committee for helping select this year's winners. And now it is my great pleasure to get this kicked off by welcoming my distinguished colleague, Sam Levy, Associate Dean for the Arts and Humanities, to present our first Lone Pine Excellence Award of the day. So, Sam.
So thanks, Phil. I'm honored today to present the Unsung Hero Award to the woman who has been the backbone of not one, but two different departments. Meredith Morley, who's the department administrator for both the Department of Philosophy and the Department of Religion. And I'm very pleased to be able to do this because that's my home department, and I've been working with Meredith for a long, long time. Meredith's been at Dartmouth for an extraordinary 20 years. Is that right? 20? Yeah, I've been here a little longer, so I don't want to ask exactly. She's got a deep well of institutional knowledge. She's a consummate professional and a superb problem solver. Meredith is unflappable in the face of challenges and a constant source of good guidance to department chairs, faculty, staff, and students, and frankly, to associate deans of faculty for the arts and humanities. I pull up the bat signal every time I've got an important question. The hero part of this award is right. Meredith has come to the rescue on so many occasions. Called away from your own weekend conference by a family emergency, Meredith steps in to make sure it goes off without a hitch. Fall sick the week your office needs to be packed for renovations, Meredith sees to it that your books are all packed. In fact, she packs them herself. Starving in the afternoon, Meredith gives you homemade pastries. Hungry, but not on good behavior, Meredith gives you Sarah's homemade kale chips. And on a more serious note, if you're a student having a seizure who faints at the top of the stairs on the second floor landing, Meredith catches you by the collar before you fall headlong to the first floor. Meredith, I think you saved her life. The unsung part of this award isn't totally right. I've had good fortune to work with a number of different DAs lately, not to mention the administrative staff in Wentworth, and everyone knows Meredith is an ace. She's taken a leadership role with DAs and other department staff across the arts and sciences to forge an informal network and communication system to help everyone learn from everyone else to give and get advice. When we're short-staffed, because we're in between DAs in a department, Meredith invariably is called to step in and help cover the bases. So that can be 3 departments at a time. When we have new staff, new DAs coming in, Meredith invariably is called on to help train them into their positions. The department administrator position is a big one. You've got responsibility for a number of important formal tasks and every different kind of informal task, including training your chairs. And Meredith, I think you must have trained 7 different chairs by this time. I've heard many times when someone needs a good idea or the how-to answer for some problem, ask Meredith. And when it comes to creating a collegial and inclusive environment, Meredith is assisted by a top-notch ally, her dog Nellie. Now, Nellie has reached near celebrity status among students, many of whom make appointments to take her for a walk or visit the department just to give Nellie a hug. While there, Meredith goes out of her way to create a welcoming place for students and faculty alike, to connect, ask questions, and seek advice. As one of her colleagues put it, Meredith is, quite simply, a gem. If an institution were to be judged by the service and dedication of its employees, then Dartmouth could find no better ambassador for its reputation than Meredith. Now, I hope other department offices, including Wentworth and Parkhurst, will continue not to persuade you when they come by with job offers. I want you still to be there in Thornton Hall when I get back. Meredith, we are so proud to present you with this year's Unsung Hero Award Please come up and accept this well-deserved honor. And now to present our next two awards, I'd like to turn it over to our esteemed Provost, Dave Coates.
Thanks, Sam. While Meredith is busy keeping two departments running smoothly, I have the pleasure of presenting two awards this afternoon, and the first happens to be going to another 20-year employee of Dartmouth. It's truly an honor to be presenting the 2022 Collaboration Award to the incredibly talented Sharon Reed, Program and Events Coordinator at the Hood Museum of Art. Sharon manages all aspects of public and private programs and events at the museum, including logistics, hospitality, production, and troubleshooting. And her love of her job and commitment to the Hood is clear to anyone who has had the pleasure of working with her. Sharon has organized back-to-back exhibit openings with international delegations and translators, dinners with last-minute additional guests, and multiple symposia with various AV needs. And she manages all these details with a welcoming, gracious approach to every collaborator involved in the process. Our colleagues say that in high-pressure moments, they often ask themselves, what would Sharon do? The answer is to reach out to others to find solutions. Sharon collaborates with a multitude of partners on campus, including conferences and events, AV and catering, student groups, faculty, as well as off-campus organizations and international contacts. And she communicates with steadfast diplomacy. Even while managing the infinite details of programs and events, Sharon still finds time to organize staff lunches, retirement parties, and other gatherings to celebrate her colleagues. Sharon, I'm so pleased to have the chance to celebrate you today. Please come up and accept your award. Quite the fan club in that back corner there, I can tell. Now, anyone who's been at Dartmouth throughout Phil's presidency over these last 10 years knows just how much we value innovation and impact. So I'm pleased to present this year's Innovation Award to a team that delivers both, the terrific trio behind the Dartmouth Innovation Accelerator for Cancer. Jamie Coughlin, Director of the Magnuson Center, Barry Schweitzer, Associate Director of the Magnuson Center, and Bethany Solomon, Executive Director of Development at the Dartmouth Cancer Center. The DIAC was launched in the fall of 2020 with the goal of providing teams of researchers the resources they need to move promising innovations through the development pipeline to commercialization for the benefit of cancer patients. Barry, Jamie, and Bethany form the powerhouse team that is helping make that happen. Employing a One Dartmouth approach, they've engaged and enlisted broad support from alumni and parents, faculty and students, and an important network of experts in the field. Responding to that call, our community has already contributed more than $5 million to the cause, with more than 50 industry leaders and alumni contributing their time and talent as mentors and advisors. With that support, the DIAC has fielded two cohorts comprised of 35 research teams and over 80 participants spanning Thayer, Geisel, Tuck, Arts and Sciences, and a range of departments across campus. These cohorts have launched 3 startups, developed and licensed 3 new technologies, and generated an additional $7 million of follow-on funding. Because of Jamie, Barry, and Bethany's strong teamwork, the research excitement and recognition for the program continue to build. The 3rd cohort, currently in process, is the largest yet, with 24 projects, 80 participants, and 9 returning teams. And the DIAC has been nationally recognized as an innovative program by the American Association of Medical Colleges. Our honorees today have turned this program into a passion project for all involved, and we are proud to recognize their bold work in supporting innovation in our community. Although Jamie could not be here with us today, we celebrate him just the same. Barry and Bethany, please come up and accept your awards. And now I'd like to turn it over to my distinguished colleague, Dwayne Compton, Dean of the Geisel School of Medicine.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you all for coming today. I just want to take one moment to recognize my colleagues Bethany and Barry and Jamie for the Cancer Center Innovation Accelerator Program. I know from my peers amongst the deans that this is a program that's unique to Dartmouth and could really only be created here. My dean colleagues are quite jealous of what we've got going here, so it's something really to be proud of. For the next award, it is really my honor to recognize my dear colleague, Tina Hoisington. So she's being recognized for the Passion and Commitment Award, which I think as you learn more about her, you'll recognize that she brings that in everything she does, passion and commitment. She is our events coordinator at the Geisel School of Medicine, and she has been providing outstanding service to Dartmouth for almost over 30 years, most of which of that time she's been spending dedicated to supporting our students in Geisel. And she is the driving force behind every event that we do, and it really shapes the experience for our medical students. And it really starts at the very beginning with orientation. It goes all the way, everything in between, all the way up to class day when they graduate, and then step into becoming licensed physicians. She covers everything in terms of their programming. As one of her colleagues put it, Tina lives by an ethos that you do whatever it takes to make the experience great for the students and their families. And I hear her say that over and over again. What she says to me most often is, happy students make happy alumni. And it's just, she brings that passion and commitment in everything she does. Her role necessarily places her in leadership of all of our major events planning for the students. But what really truly sets her apart is that she's so supportive of our students every day, each student, each and every day. She's present there for every student and she meets their needs. I think there's never a time when she says, I can't do that, or I won't answer the phone, or she's just ever present for the students. And one of her colleagues shared that you can tell that the students really care about Tina and value her contributions to making them feel supported. So I say this all the time, the staff make an equal contribution to the training of our students. They just make a different contribution. And Tina exemplifies that in the way that she supports our students and their success. So Tina, please join me on the podium and receive your award. It's now my pleasure to introduce Josh Keniston, the Vice President of Campus Services and Institutional Projects, who will announce the next awardee. Josh.
Thanks, Dwayne. Dartmouth prides itself on the special role it plays in educating students to go on to become wise leaders. And one of the most powerful ways that we do this is by modeling leadership ourselves. No one does that better than this year's winner of the Leadership Award, Bree Carlson, Associate Director in our Office of Environmental Health and Safety. Bree was a key leader for our entire Dartmouth community throughout the COVID-19 pandemic by taking the helm of our testing operations and logistics and continuing to lead daily in our safety initiatives across campus. She takes such pride in making this a safe place for everyone to come, to work, to teach, to do research. As we navigated constantly shifting CDC guidelines and policies, Bree became a critical point person across all Dartmouth departments. She worked with our special service providers to deliver the testing we needed to bring departments back. She coordinated numerous departments to locate testing sites and add more locations as the situations evolved. And her expertise was an important factor in a number of game-changing decisions that weren't readily visible, such as changing to a higher standard of air filters, which allow us to reopen campus buildings sooner than we otherwise would have. Bree's colleagues describe her as a thought leader on strategy and logistics. What sets Bree apart, though, is her willingness to jump in and roll up her sleeves. At no time was this more evident than at the height of the pandemic, when Bree willingly jumped in to set up testing tents, order supplies, and distribute them to our community. She kept our custodial staff prepared and informed about policies that kept them safe. She worked over our winter holiday to make sure students, faculty, and staff would return to campus as safely as possible. And when it came time to shift our protocols, which happened a lot, Bree collaborated with our testing partners to facilitate compliance every step of the way. And she did it while always keeping the bigger picture in mind, pushing the entire team to keep diversity, equity, and inclusion forefront of our decision-making, and helping everyone understand how seemingly small decisions could have a ripple effect throughout our operations. I have one particularly vivid memory from when we were setting up an emergency isolation space when Bree demonstrated what it means to be a leader in a crisis. She pushed us all to take a pause and make sure we didn't overlook decisions on things like modifying ventilation, to setting up gender-inclusive shower stalls to ensure we were set up for success should we need the facility. Thankfully, we did not need to use that facility, but Bree's leadership at that moment made us stronger as a team and made us better prepared. Bree did all of this on top of her regular responsibilities to create a safe living and learning environment at Dartmouth. She stepped up for our community when we needed leaders the most, and we could not be more grateful for what she did and what she continues to do for us. Bree, please come up and receive your award. It's now my pleasure to introduce my distinguished colleague, Anne Root Keith, Chief Operating Officer for Advancement, to present our next award.
Thank you, Josh. I am so thrilled to have the pleasure of presenting the award on diversity and inclusion to my colleagues, Alexis Conda Olmsted and Cindy Hodgson Welsh. Alexis is our Director of Advancement Talent Management, and Cindy is the Associate Director for Advancement Business Operations. Together, Alexis and Cindy have been actively creating opportunities for advancement to explore how we can participate both as individuals and as a division in making Dartmouth a more welcoming, inclusive, and equitable community. We know that this is important in our work as we work with alumni, parents, and friends, because the work that we do in advancement reflects on 85,000 others who work so closely around the world with what we do in our division. Specifically, Alexis and Cindy's work in prioritizing DEI action is helping our team work together to build community dialogue. They are the driving force behind training and programs that explore challenging topics, from addressing racism to building social initiatives to accountability. These programs incorporate feedback from our staff surveys, research from the Reconciling Dartmouth's History Project, and programming from our Office of Institutional Diversity and Equity. From reading groups, accountability discussion groups, and belonging interest groups, they help to create opportunities for us to openly share and learn from one another. And as if that weren't enough, Alexis and Cindy's powerful advocacy is helping Dartmouth's advancement team reach an even broader audience of that 85,000. Through the Amplify professional development program, Alexis is creating opportunities to address gender inequity and leadership and advancement throughout higher education. And since its launch in 2020 at Dartmouth and partner institutions, this program has worked with more than 300 participants from 20 universities. And Cindy manages CASE's Summer Institute and internship program here at Dartmouth, which attracts talented undergraduate students from all universities, students with diverse backgrounds, to train and enter the field of advancement and development. For their energetic and forward-looking vision and action, our colleagues praise Alexis and Cindy as role models for culture creation. Alexis and Cindy, please come up and accept your awards. And now I'd like to welcome President Hanlon back to the podium to present our final award of the day, the Sheila Culbert Distinguished Employee Service Award.
Thank you, Ann, and congratulations to all of the winners, the Lone Pine Awards. We've got one more to do, and it is our most long-standing Staff Service Award. It's, of course, the Sheila Culbert Distinguished Employee Service Award. As you may know, the Sheila Culbert Award was established in 2008 by President Emeritus Jim Wright and his wife Susan in honor of a former Dartmouth employee. It recognizes a staff member who has made an especially noteworthy difference to Dartmouth and to their colleagues. This year's Sheila Culbert Award recipient, Greg Elder, is an exceptional choice. Greg is the director and instructor of woodworking at the Hopkins Center for the Arts and has been a stalwart in the woodworking workshop for his entire 36-year tenure. In addition to Greg's incredible skill as a craftsman, he has a truly special gift, a gift for helping students and colleagues alike celebrate the growth that comes from failure and the fulfillment that comes from success. That's what experiential learning is really all about. Greg is not only attentive to the way each student learns, his kindness and patience are pervasive. In nominating him for this award, students are quick to point out how he takes the time to get to know their projects, helps them overcome design challenges, and guides them through even when they feel lost. In turn, he helps them create objects of beauty that bring them deep personal satisfaction, a sense of pride, and a well full of confidence to apply to other aspects of their Dartmouth experience. No matter who walks in the shop, Greg welcomes them to a supportive environment where creativity and collaboration thrive, where you feel the sense of possibility the minute you walk through the door. Perhaps Greg's colleague said it best when he said, and I quote, "His greatest contribution to Dartmouth is that in an era of division and social unrest, of increasing stress and heightened levels of anxiety around the country and on our campus, Greg has established a place where everyone is welcome, everyone is treated as an equal, and everyone shares in this wholeheartedly wonderful environment of shared creativity," end quote. Greg, for the past 36 years, you've ignited students' passions for creative exploration and discovery and exemplified our commitment to teaching and community in a way that makes Dartmouth proud. And you've done it while treating students and colleagues as family all the while. On behalf of the entire Dartmouth community, it is my great pleasure to invite you to the stage to accept the recognition you so richly deserve. Please join me in giving a rouse for this year's Sheila Culbert Distinguished Employee Service Award. So once again, let me congratulate all of this year's award winners and outstanding nominees. If you'd like to get your pictures taken, I'll meet you by the banner in the back of the room, over that way. And to everyone in attendance, I encourage you to join Gail and me and our honorees for a reception right here in the ballroom right now. So thanks again for coming.